Hi, good afternoon. I'm Santiago Marquez. I'm the CEO of the Latin American Association. And today it's a pleasure and an honor to have a good friend of mine join us. Also happens to be the CEO of Gas South, which has been a great friend to the Latino community, a great resident here and a great employer to all of Atlanta and Georgia, but now has expanded and honored to have Kevin Greiner here. But before we get to Kevin, I do want to talk a little bit about what the LAA is up to. Yesterday, we were able to get to 1,000 people vaccinated in our building. So we continue to vaccinate every week here in our building, and we will continue to do that through the month of July. So if you haven't gotten your vaccinations yet, or if you know folks or your friends or your family that need to get vaccinated, please go to our website, LAA.org, the LAA.org, Latin American Association, and take a look at our calendar for when you can come. You really don't need an appointment. We prefer you make one, but you don't need one. But please come and get vaccinated, right? And we're really proud of the fact that we've vaccinated over 1,000 folks. And we continue to help with rental assistance. We continue to help in Gwinnett, Fulton County, Cobb County, all the metro Atlanta area. We're also focusing a lot, obviously, in Dalton and Northwest Georgia, continue to do the daily work of providing people with help with food, with homeless prevention, with rental assistance, with SNAP benefits. So, please, whatever you need, let us know. Whatever part of the state you're in, we're happy to help you. So, on to our guest, a good friend, somebody that I've known many years and somebody that I really admired because of the work that he's done with the Latino community, in particular with Daca Recipients. But before that, let's introduce Kevin Greiner, the CEO of Gas South. Kevin, welcome. Thank you for being with us. Can you tell us a little bit about Kevin?
Yeah, great to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you for making the time. I know you're incredibly busy. Can you tell us a little bit about Kevin? Who is Kevin the person? Because I'm sure there's a lot of folks who may have heard your name but don't know you. A little bit about your background and who you are.
Sure. So I'm one of those New Yorkers, one of those damn Yankees that never left the South, Santiago. I've been here since 2002. So grew up in Long Island. After college at Wesleyan University, I went down to DC for a while, then got my grad degree up at University of Michigan. Spent a couple of years down in Houston, actually, working in the energy industry. That's where I got my energy chops and worked for a little company called Enron that I'm sure a lot of your listeners are familiar with. Enron was a very large energy company that flamed out in the early 2000s. Of course, that made me need to find a new job. I had worked for them in Houston and also over in Germany for a couple of years. And at that point, we relocated to Georgia because I got an offer to work here and I needed a job. So I came here with my wife back in 2002 and our little daughter who was 2 years old. Worked at Southern Company for a couple of years. And then Southern Company decided to sell the gas marketing business that was called Southern Company Gas at the time. It was sold and to Cobb EMC, and we became Gas South. And I've been here in Georgia ever since and really enjoying growing the company. We're an energy marketing company. Our roots, of course, are in natural gas side. That's our primary business, but we've also gotten involved in some solar projects and some other things in the last few years as we kind of look at renewable energy as a important future opportunity for us. And we've grown a lot as a company, which I'm very fortunate about. We started with about 35 employees back in 2006 when we were founded as Gas South. Today, we're about 400 folks, and we've expanded our gas sales volumes about tenfold over that time. So it's a much larger company than we were back then. We've expanded into not just, Georgia was our roots, but of course now we're also serving customers in Florida, Carolinas, in Texas, and a few other geographies around the Eastern United States. So it's been an exciting ride for us. And our company, one of the things that's really important to us is that we're a purpose-driven company, and our purpose is to be a fuel for good. And for us, that means caring for our customers and our employees and elevating our industry and our communities. And we really take those four pillars of customer, employee, community, and industry very, very seriously and try to be the best possible corporate citizen we can be that trusted gas provider, but also that trusted community citizen that leans into the important work that needs to be done to show that companies really can make a difference and that capitalism can be a real force for good. And I definitely believe that strongly, and I know our team does as well. And we feel that that community angle is really, really critical. Helps to, I think, differentiate our approach in the market, but most importantly, just contributes to a stronger community fabric, which is so important for Georgia and the other places that we serve. And then just on a personal basis, I live in the city of Decatur, got a couple of kids and my wife here. We love spending time together. I'm a big tennis player, like scuba diving, love travel, and just like music is another big passion of mine. So I have a lot of passions, try to create time for all of those things. Family, friends come center to all of that.
Well, and I can personally attest that you're a great guy and a great person to hang out with and spend time with and to do business with. So really a pleasure to call you a friend. And I know that your daughter's incredibly talented too, right? She's a singer, songwriter, and mine is heading this fall to Belmont to study commercial music. So I just started
playing. We need to get them together.
We do. I think Bella could get some tips from her. And I just went back to playing tennis, mixed doubles, and my legs are killing me. So
good for you. I'm glad you're getting out there, Santiago.
Awesome. I need to get out there and move. But so I think you've told us. Obviously, I feel like most people now know a little bit more about Kevin, and you told us quite a bit about Gas South. And congratulations on all that growth. It's a real tribute to your leadership, I think. I've always been fascinated by your workforce, right? Because you've had a great reputation in the community here for hiring Latinos and Hispanics, and I'm sure minorities in general, right? But, from my perspective, working in the Hispanic community, you have tremendous respect within our community for hiring Hispanics, but not just Hispanic DACA recipients. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I think right now you mentioned that is it 20% of your workforce is Hispanic, right? So
yeah, nearly 1 in 5 of our team members are, and we have always really tried to hire diverse talent for a lot of reasons. One is if you limit the pool of folks that you're available to, or as an employer, you're going to miss out on some real opportunities. And also, we really value the bilingual language skills that Latino employees can provide. We have a very strong and rapidly growing Latino customer base that includes both residential customers as well as the commercial side of our business. And so having folks who can very easily move from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, and allow our customers to do business with us the way that they want to do it on their terms is really important. And that really goes for whether we're communicating with them in person, on the phone, digitally through email or chat. We want to have that capability where if somebody prefers interacting with us in Spanish, we want to have that capability for them to do so. And so that's been a big priority of ours. And I think it's allowed us to really grow our reputation in our business with Latino customers, while also being able to, hire some of the best and brightest in Metro Atlanta. You mentioned DACA. We've been I would say, a DACA-friendly employer for quite some time. It's where we get some of our best, bilingual language skills. And we've had a lot of folks, a lot of young folks join us as DACA recipients, the Dreamers, as they're also known, of course, and they've done great and have moved up into various roles at the company over time. And that continues to be a great source of, younger talent for us to be able to hire in to the company, whether that be coming into our customer care center, working in some of the customer operations side, sales support, frontline sales. We've got, Latino American employees who are really working for us kind of across the board. And it's been a great way for us to really grow our business and also find some of the best folks available.
Kevin, and first of all, thank you from the community's perspective. Thank you for being mindful and deliberate and intentional about that. What got you thinking about Daca and hiring Daca recipients? How did that connect? How'd you make that connection, right? Because I talked to a lot of folks, and the reason you're on this show, well, I mean, we're good friends, but it's because of the work that you've done with Daca recipients. So it's not something that's commonly done. How did you make that connection?
Well, I think part of it, Santiago, was necessity to start with. Really, it's like, where are you going to find the bilingual talent that you need? And folks that are Daca recipients are clearly a great pool of talent. We're a fairly young company. Our median age is about 38. So finding that talent that could come into our company, learn the ropes, so to speak, and then build from that into other areas is really important. Obviously hiring Daca recipients, it comes with some risk, in terms of will the political environment enable them to continue to work for us. Of course, it's a program that you never know what's going to happen with it, but we felt like it's worth taking that shot, and we want to give people those opportunities to grow their careers with us. And so, from our perspective, we're going to hire the very best people that can come in as long as we can do it legally. And, the Daca recipients are some of the folks that kind of rise to the top. So I wouldn't say that we were necessarily, focused on, hey, we want to be an employer of dreamers. It's more that, gosh, dreamers have a lot of talent. And as long as we can, bring them in to the company and do so in a way that is, compliant with the law, we are all for that, and we're going to do it. And I certainly hope personally that they will be able to stay with us and grow their careers for a long time. Another thing I think that has made Gas South attractive in general, not just to Daca recipients, but really to Latinos and others, is that we do support continued education. We have a program where we'll support you going to college or even to get your associate's degree. And we do that to the tune of $5,250 a year that we will provide to folks who want to continue with their education. And I think that has made us attractive as an employer to strivers, people who are potentially graduating high school or been out in the workforce for a few years, but know that they need to continue to upskill and develop new capabilities. And because we're a company that's very friendly to that and helps you with your continued education, I think that helps us to be a magnet for young talent who see that in their future.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. That's great explanation. I think hopefully people can really learn, people out there that are watching that have to recruit talent like we do here at the LAA, right? And I agree with everything that you have said. So talking about recruiting talent, I know that you guys just acquired or recently acquired, right, Infinite Energy. Tell us about a little bit about that and what that means for the growth of the company, right? Where are you now, and what does that mean for the footprint here of Atlanta and Georgia and the Southeast?
Yeah, so Infinite Energy is a natural gas marketer. They're actually one of the original gas marketers in the state of Georgia. They entered the market way back in 1998. And they were a terrific company that we had long admired. Their business was primarily centered in the state of Florida, serving businesses and commercial customers, and then in the state of Georgia, where they were serving all types, including residential customers. And they did have some very strong industrial and wholesale business in other parts of the eastern United States also. And so we had long admired them, had thought that it could make sense for us to come together. Our two primary markets are Georgia and Florida. Theirs were as well. We came at the market more from serving retail customers, which means end users, They really had come originally from the wholesale side, serving utilities, and had a much larger energy trading operation than we had. And so putting these two companies together was synergistic from a geographic standpoint, but also from a capability standpoint. And we were able to also, I think, bring to the table a really strong technology platform that they could migrate over to. So as we talked with the founders of Infinite, and it started back in really in earnest in March of 2020, which is a really interesting time to do it. It's right when the pandemic is setting in, and we're starting to talk about, hey, would the combination of these two businesses make sense? And things really sped up pretty quickly. We realized that this is something that we both wanted to do. We negotiated everything virtually, predominantly on Microsoft Teams platform. So we actually never met in person. Yeah, it was really bizarre.
Wow.
And but we hashed out, all of the parameters of the deal, and we signed documents in October, and then we closed the deal in December. And what it does for us is it provides, it makes the combined company, Gas South, which is the brand that we're continuing to use, Gas South. We're the number one provider in terms of volume-based market share in Georgia. We're also the number one in the state of Florida. We also have a very big business in the Carolinas, where we're kind of a top 3 or 4 gas provider in that market, which is also an industrial market. We have a good business now in the state of Texas. That's largely come over from the Infinite acquisition. And what's been really nice, Santiago, is just how well the two cultures have meshed. We do have two distinct cultures, but there were both similarities and differences that I think have made the combination of the business very, very powerful. And we're getting along great, our two teams. It's fun to have a significant employee group now down in Gainesville, Florida. That's where Infinite was based. We have about, we'll end up with about 150 employees there and about 250 or so, mostly in the Atlanta metro area. So we're kind of moving to a multi-site, multi-state sort of approach as Gas South. And we feel like the combination of these two companies really does make us the premier natural gas provider in the competitive markets of the southeastern United States. And that really excites our teams in both places. And we look forward to a lot of personal and business growth together.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a big deal. And I remember reading about it in the Business Chronicle, thinking, wow, this is great. So is it now the Gas South Arena in Gwinnett? Is that?
Yeah, so we are rebranding. First, there was the Infinite Energy Center, which really encompassed the arena, convention center, and the theater there. That whole area is being rebranded to the Gas South District. And the Gas South District will include the Gas South Arena, the convention center, as well as the theater, that are all part of that complex. There is a lot happening up there. I was up there recently, actually, for a Gwinnett Chamber Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Conference, where I was on a panel. Right. And you see all of the construction happening. There's a big expansion of the convention center that's occurring right now, right there in the Gas South District. There's also continued plans for other development that can happen around that whole complex, private development. So it's a really exciting time to have the rebranding occur. And as it happens, it also aligns perfectly with the relaunch of live events.
Right.
And so as the Gas South Arena now starts to have concerts and gladiator hockey games and Georgia Swarm lacrosse, and have all of that kind of reemerge, it's a perfect time for us to rebrand the entire area. And the team up there at the Gas South District has been tremendous to work with, and I know they're excited for the return of live events and for really kind of allowing us to really activate interest across our customer base. We had Infinite had about 100,000 customers or so. The combined company is going to have 425,000 customers, with about a little over 400,000 of those being in the state of Georgia. So, that's a big customer base, a lot of households, a lot of businesses that where we can be communicating with them about all the great things that are happening at the Gas South Arena and the Gas South Convention Center, and really all the activity happening in the Gas South District. So I think we're both really excited about the future there. And, of course, that's also a venue that tends to have some of the best Latino acts coming through. Gwinnett is such a diverse community, has the largest proportion of Latino residents, I think, in the entire state. So that's really exciting too, and creates a nice tie-in with all of our outreach with the Latin American community.
Totally agree with that, and look forward to seeing an event up there myself. It's been a while. I live in Gwinnett. I'm a Gwinnetian and frequent the arena for both hockey games and concerts. Haven't been to a Swarm game yet, but now when you say district, are you planning on restaurants and bars, or you can't talk about that yet, or is it going to be like the Battery, or is premature
Yeah,
to have that?
it's probably a little premature, but there are long-term plans with that. We will not have a central role in that process, but I know that the leadership in Gwinnett County has for a long time felt like there's an opportunity for more commercial development in that area that really can be anchored by the arena, the theater, and the convention center. So I think we will be seeing there will be more to come in that regard over the coming years. We certainly hope so, because we do see that opportunity to sure have something that is echoes what is happening on the other side of town with the Battery. It would be great to see the Gas South District really grow into something of that scale. It'll take time, of course. These things always do, but I think we've got some great community assets that already anchor that area. It really is a central place for Gwinnetians and others, all across the region.
Right, that's
to come
true.
to.
Yep.
So I think that it's got a lot of potential, and we're certainly hopeful, and we'll try to do everything we can to help to promote the Gas South District as a true destination for folks to have a great night out in. And so that's something that we're hopeful can really take off.
Well,
And
I'll tell you that.
we have 14 years on that sponsorship, so we're in it for a long term, which is great. It was
Oh,
a
that's great.
long-term deal, so it's got 14 more years on it. Plenty of time for us really to work hard together and invest to make that area the best that it can be.
Really exciting. I got to tell you that from a personal perspective, my dream came true. I guess was it 2018 or 2019? U2 actually came to the Infinite Energy Arena. I couldn't believe it. Now, I have been a U2 fan since 1982, and good old Catholic boy. Have seen U2 15 times. Traveled to New York City, Madison Square Garden, taken my wife, all over the country, Chicago, to see U2. And when U2 was in my backyard at this small arena, I was like, this is amazing, incredible. So hopefully the arena will continue to bring not only, I'm a weird, Hispanic. I mean, I love my Latin music too. I love maná and I love reggaeton, but I grew up on rock and roll. So hopefully you guys the arena can continue to bring those acts like that. That was amazing. Talking about labor, and we have a question here. So we'll take the question, and then Kevin, I want to talk to you about what's happening with labor with you guys and across the state of Georgia and the country. The question is, from your perspective, what has been one advantage of having such a diverse workforce?
Well, the first thing, thank you for that question. The first thing is the perspectives that you get from different folks with different life experiences. I don't think you can run a successful company these days without having great ideas, and they're going to come from a lot of different sources. And if everybody thinks alike, you're going to get one set of ideas, generally speaking. So having that diversity is really tremendous. And then I think from a cultural standpoint, it's really understanding, how do you need to alter your approach to doing business, to how you should interact with customers, how you should market, how you should serve different customers depending on, what their different expectations might be. What do they value the most? in terms of a relationship with a service provider like ourselves, which, we sell a commodity product. Our gas is not going to make your food taste any better or make your house any warmer than the next guy's. The difference is, of course, going to be in that service experience. And so that makes it even more important for us to differentiate our approach and how we do business compared to the other guys, because the products are going to be the same, regardless of the gas provider that you choose. So, we want to be known as that company that, creates better community connections that, in the case of our businesses, helps them to actually grow their business more effectively, that can help them to make the connections that they need to grow their business themselves. So those are the sorts of things that, we really try to focus on. And with you really need a diverse workforce to be able to differentiate that service experience adequately. I think the other thing is that, it's getting harder and harder to find talent. The talent wars are true. And right now, it's a tight labor market. And so if you're not recognized as an employer who is welcoming to people of all backgrounds, you're going to really limit your talent pool. So some of this is really, self-centered in a way. It's about self-preservation. It's about, wanting to, attract as many people as possible who are talented, motivated, and can contribute to the success of your company. And folks, if you don't have a diverse workforce, you're not going to attract diverse candidates, which means you're limiting your talent pool. So by having that diverse workforce, it does the opposite. It makes you attractive as an employer to all people, regardless of, race, age, sexual orientation, gender, all of those things. And it allows us to, not cut off, opportunities to bring great people into the company. So that's something that's really important to us. And, at the end of the day, we want to be that place where people want to work, where you can be your authentic self and can feel like you belong at our company day in and day out. And that's something that we really strive to do. And you can only do that by being a diverse place.
I think I know you well enough and have been and visited your headquarters and seen it firsthand. I mean, it's a great place. It looks like a great place to work, and congratulations on that. So why do you think and we're running out of time, but in the next minute, we know what's happening with the labor market. You just said it's tight. We see both ends here. We're trying to help. We still have a lot of need in our community, a lot of people who are unemployed, who need help, in terms of rental assistance and food, and we're helping them to the best of our ability. And then on the other side, we have employers who are begging for folks to come to work. What's your 2 cents on this? What's going on? Why is the labor market so tight? It doesn't make sense, right? You would think that in a time of need like this, people would be taking jobs, any jobs that are available. But what do you think's happening?
Well, I think it is a matching of, what are the skill sets that employers are looking for in the behaviors, and, what do folks have to offer? I think that, and we do have a mismatch. There's no question about that right now. And so I think that's having an impact. That's where I think a group like the LAA can play such an important role, because companies like Gas South, we do have positions. Now, fortunately, we're able to attract some really great people, because I think we are deemed to be an employer of choice. So I wouldn't put us in that category, Santiago, of a company that's really struggling with hiring. We're still hiring folks. We pay a minimum wage of $17 an hour, $18 an hour for bilingual customer care reps, plus benefits, plus bonus. So, we're able to, find some good people. But there are areas, there's certainly a lot of skills that are in very high demand. Some of those are more blue collar, some of those are more white collar type of positions. And I think the work that you guys can do to ensure that where there are skill shortages, that folks can be trained up and can pursue careers in those areas of high growth is really, really important. And I think that's really what's going on. You hear stories maybe about folks who have kind of reevaluated their lives and decided, I don't want to do the type of work that I did pre-pandemic. I think there's something to that potentially. You hear stories about, maybe there's issues associated with the unemployment benefits and whether those are discouraging people from going back to work. I personally have not seen a lot of evidence of that in our space, but I think that those may be other, explanations for what's happening that, I've certainly heard a lot about. But I think the biggest thing from my standpoint is really that skills mismatch. What skills do folks have? What skills are companies looking for? And those don't 100% align all the time. And that's why you guys are so critical to providing that connectivity and that ability, that platform for folks to find the training and skill sets that they need to really thrive in, the new economy.
Well, thanks for saying that. Shameless plug. June 24th here, we have our Career Expo, which I think right now we're up to 13 employers, and we'll be listing those as we get more that will be here on site hiring. That's really exciting for us because, throughout the last year, everything we've done just about with hiring has been virtual, with the exception of Northwest Georgia, where we partnered with our great partners, Mohawk, during the summer and had some hiring fairs in person. But we're really, really excited about being able to bring employers here. So if you're looking for work, you guys are actively hiring. Is that right, Kevin? Are you hiring now?
We always have some jobs, on our site. So gasout.com/careers. You can always see all of the open positions that we have. And, with a company of our size, there's always some level of job recruiting that we're doing. So absolutely, any of your listeners, if they can, think they qualify well for any of those positions that we have out there. In fact, right now we have a manager of diversity, equity, and inclusion that we are recruiting for. That's a great opportunity. We've got some governmental affairs jobs. We have some operations jobs, some customer experience jobs that we're recruiting for. So, I think there's lots out there.
Opportunities there and opportunities with our Career Expo. So look us up, go to our website, and check out, the employers, and come to our Career Expo if you're looking for work. Kevin, before we leave, I do want to say a shout out to Michael Owens. Michael, thanks for being with us. I think you know him also, Kevin. He's a great guy, done a lot of great work in Cobb County and beyond, and just a great person to work with. Kevin, great conversation. Thank you so much for being generous with your time. We know you got a lot on your hands. Have a great weekend, and look forward to continuing to work together and partner.
Absolutely. And thanks to everything you've done, Santiago, to help connect us to the Latin American community. It's been absolutely amazing. You guys have been terrific in helping us to really, hone our approach towards how we serve Latinos. And we really appreciate that. It's been a terrific partnership.
Thank you. Well, everybody, have a great weekend. And remember, stay safe, come and get vaccinated, and get back to living. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Kevin.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.